I'm Isyander.
And I am Koda.
And I figured this would get old over the course of an entire episode.
Yeah.
Plus, you should probably sleep.
Yeah.
No.
See, I hate when I get colds because there's the Family Guy bit of like Peter gets a cold and he gets like this deep like voice that Lois can't keep herself off of him with. Yeah. It's a funny episode. But when I get a cold, my voice turns into like I've been smoking like 3 packs a day for the last 80 years, and this is the end of my rope. Like I'm walking up to you asking for another pack because I just ran out of my last one.
Yeah.
This it's bad.
Yeah. But yeah,
I don't know how it ends up like this. It just this is what it does.
I'm Isyander.
And I am no longer Koda.
Well, Koda-ish. But now,
Yeah.
at least we can get a full episode in without you sounding like you've smoked for the last...
I mean, I still kind of sound like I've smoked.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like you don't sound like a... Either way, we're not here to talk about that. We're here today to talk about the Black Templars.
More Black Templars. We did talk about the Black Templars on Patreon.com.
On Patreon. We talked about
Isyander and
Helbrecht.
Koda. Yeah.
He's great.
We talked
obviously.
about a Black Templar.
Yes, but now these are the Black Templars.
Mm-hmm.
In a word, or in a few words, like the short kind of elevator pitch for them, they are Dorn's least well-adjusted kids.
That's funny because they're all pretty...
Did you hear me?
Yeah.
Dorn. Mr. Pain Gloves.
Yeah, I know. They're already
least.
They're already stock. Very.
Yeah, they're not very well adjusted.
Yeah.
Look, they need therapy. They all need therapy.
Yeah.
But the Black Templars especially have found some...
Dorn's sons will literally do anything but go to therapy.
They found some coping strategies. They do actually meditate. I kid you not.
The BDSM dungeon?
No. Like legitimately, they do meditate and pray. It's just
you know the common phrase crying in the club?
Yeah.
Meditating in the BDSM dungeon?
No, I don't think they have one. I wish.
I'm simply throwing spaghetti at the wall.
Yeah, they probably would be meditating and praying in the BDSM dungeon.
Yeah. Not to say it's not a prayer for some people.
Yeah.
I'm not kink shaming. I'm simply kink asking why.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. What they're meditating on in the BDSM dungeon, we'll find out as we go. But it's not great.
No.
It's 0 stars.
I mean, I feel like if you're meditating in the BDSM dungeon, it's already stocked pretty not great.
Yeah. Well,
you got something you're working through.
Oh yeah. They post heresy saw one loophole and decided to run with it for 40,000 years.
The Crusade one, right?
I'm not gonna lie, kind of inaccurate.
Really?
Yes, because the reality of it is, for the Black Templars to have found this loophole where your legion size isn't as strictly watched while you're on a crusade, they would have had to read the Codex Astartes.
It's not about the size; it's the way you use your legion.
Yeah, well, exactly. But again, for them to even know that, they'd have to have read it. And if there ever was a chapter where Dorn probably forgot to get them a copy,
it was that one. Yeah.
These guys are very, very, very likely to, look, if you gathered a bunch of chapters together and did a Codex pop quiz trivia night, well, obviously the Ultramarines are making it so unpleasant nobody else would ever come again because they have it memorized back to front.
Yeah.
But the Black Templars may be the ones where it's like, how are you out here enlisted with us? How do you not know some of this? I mean, they still do their jobs, right? They're descendants of Dorn, which is to say they're very good in combat.
Yeah. This was the man with a conveyor belt of teeth
as a sword.
For a sword.
Yeah. And that was just one of his many swords.
Oh yeah, didn't he have the other sword? No, that was Lion who had the sword that kills you.
The Lions had a lot of swords.
Yeah.
Dorn's just had more than one.
Yeah.
They definitely are they mirror their fathers, the part of their father that hated the Codex to begin with. And they also mirror some of his most extreme aspects. Dorn's medium adjusted,
Medium adjusted, I think, is also even still giving him a lot of grace.
Well, yeah, but, you know...
Hey, listen, he magic pain gloves about his problems.
Medium adjusted. We're going to give him medium adjusted. Because I can't say he's poorly adjusted.
Yeah.
I can't say he's well adjusted. Well, you know
he
what?
needs a therapist.
I will say up until the heresy and what came after, it was pretty well adjusted.
Okay.
After the adjustment just went right out the window.
Yeah, just left.
Just went right out the window.
Bye-bye.
We will probably never get an accurate head count of these guys. And I don't think we even want to get an accurate head count of these guys. What we know is there are probably too many of them.
Probably.
We know that
Listen, you were talking about this pop quiz. They're like trying to hide their like Legion enhancement pump in the background.
That's not mine.
Where some people would kind of get in trouble for this, where it's like, okay, we've seen way too many of you. What's going on here? For these guys, they get a little bit of a pass because there's a really, really, really low chance they will ever fall to heresy or fully secede from the Imperium. There is still a chance. They've done some sketchy things. But in the grand scheme of things, it's pretty low.
It's one of those things where it's like, okay, yeah, you guys are breaking the rules, but it's fine. We trust you.
Yeah.
If you're breaking the rules, it means it's for a reason.
Yeah, well, it's more like you're right. It is for a reason, but it's also a little bit of, are they absolute basket cases? Yes, all of them. Mm-hmm. But are they our absolute basket cases? Yeah. And so we're okay with what they're getting up to, which is a lot.
Fair enough,
right?
I
can't argue with it. No,
I'm gonna be very non-committal about that. I don't know how to answer that.
Oh, you're gonna have a lot to be non-committal about as we go. From the beginning, they were always. They were never going to be on kilter, you know?
No.
They
Again, I cannot say enough. They were Dorn's children.
Yeah, well, and look, for Dorn's job is not a complex one during the heresy, but that makes it all the worse because of how the heresy shook out.
Yeah.
You know? Because him and the custodians, ultimately, there's a lot. Right, there's a ton that you have to do to prepare to face off against Horus. It's a lot. But at the end of the day, it could really mostly be boiled down to defend objective E. That's it.
Echo.
That's all. All you have to do.
What was objective E in Battlefield 1?
Probably Echo.
No.
It was the NATO phonetic alphabet.
No, it wasn't, because B was butter.
Oh, it was the British phonetic. Oh, yeah, World War I. It couldn't be NATO.
Yeah.
Oh. So whatever the British phonetic alphabet was at the time.
Yeah.
But yes, I think it might have still been Echo.
I mean, probably. It's
or
easy.
Edward. Those are my two throws. Those are my two
Edward
guesses.
would be funny.
Those are my two guesses. I'm
charging objective Edward, and it's just a photo of Edward from Twilight.
Yeah, I'm sticking with those guesses. Someone will let me know in the comments. I hope I'm right. But yeah, it really does boil down to hold that objective. That's everyone else has more complicated gigs. Your job is to build some fantastic walls and keep stuff on the wrong side of those walls.
We'll keep the wrong things on the wrong side of that wall.
Broadly speaking, towards the end of the heresy
Keep the wrong things on the right side of that wall.
Towards the end of the heresy there was so much going on. You just didn't want anything crossing.
Keep the heretics out.
Yes. That's all. His job was super simple. The custodian's job was super simple, which is why it stings much harder that they failed.
Yeah.
Because they really...
You had one job.
Yeah. Like they weren't... Not to say they weren't doing anything, but they weren't like out there being mulched actively.
Yeah.
Like some
your
other
job
people
was
were.
literally build a wall and then hold it.
Yeah. And I'll be fair, right? This is defend against the guy purpose built to be the master of offense.
Yeah.
He's the single greatest mind for this. And then he's got 4 title sponsors who are all like beings beyond comprehension.
Simple jobs can still be hard.
Yeah, it's a very hard job. It's a lot to go against. And even though towards the end of their heresy there, they had a ton of resources being funneled into this, ultimately it still shook out like it shook out because they were on the back foot from the beginning.
It's like a half a win? Like a win?
No. They were always on the back foot. You got to remember, because when Horus started the heresy, he got to start it. He got to make the first move. That's huge. And then, on top of that, for a bit of the time, nobody really knew what exactly was going on. So offense had a lot of time to do a lot of things.
Yeah, because communication is only at the side. It's at the speed of hell,
and hell was on their side.
Yeah.
So it was a really tough thing. If you really want to look at it, there was never a way for them to win, frankly. But they're never going to look at it like that.
No.
The Custodians got really, really, really grim about it. And Dorn got equally grim about it. There's nothing... He wasn't going to give himself any slack. No. Basically.
It's very easy to focus on the simplicity of the job that you have when you screw it up and not consider just how hard it was.
Yeah. And also, to be honest, the Imperium kind of new to losing at this point.
Yeah.
They've taken some losses. A few.
Not a lot.
Sprinkled here and there. And
not one as big as the one they took.
They will certainly get used to losing as we go forward. But as of this moment, still relatively new experience.
Do they get used to losing? Because as far as we understand, every time they lose, an Inquisitor said we didn't, and then they hide that sheet of paper away.
That is learning. Because they're not crying on the football pitch when they lost. They just paint over the scoreboard. That is learning from previous losses.
Okay.
You know? So you got to give them credit where it's due.
Sure. Yeah, you could definitely call it that. There is an argument for that.
Exactly. Dorn's coping strategies during this time period were incredibly rough. Because if you could blame anyone for the final result of this match, the goalie is going to get it the worst.
Yeah.
Right? They're always going to get it the worst. Some would argue some of these coping strategies led to his inevitable death. I'm not going to make that case. Some people do. Death. We only did find one limb, so who knows, right?
Just a finger. Yes. Only a finger was left.
Well, 5.
Well,
I think it's like up to here.
I was referencing a moment from the Harry Potter films.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen them, believe it or not.
Haven't seen them?
No.
Oh.
No. So I think like elbow up, though, is where what we have left of Dorn.
I saw a picture and it looked like it was like
midway point. It's really hard to tell because Primarchs are massive.
Yeah, and like I can't tell. I mean, I guess if you think about it, like they would slice. If they sliced off any further, it'd be the end of the gauntlet. And the gauntlet didn't look cut off. Yeah, that's why I was like, okay, so it's probably about midway to like a little bit further because that's where the gauntlet stops.
Yeah, that's all we got of him. Before this, though, but after the heresy, the Codex Astartes was being penned as an attempt to kind of learn what you could from the heresy, prevent another one from happening again, and leave stronger and rebuild. Dorn didn't want any of this.
No.
He wanted the get back. Which he wanted the traitors are still drawing breath. That's a problem for him to solve.
To be fair, I can see the argument for like, yes, this divides us among ourselves so that one of us can't consolidate too much power to rise up against the rest. However, are our enemies worried about their power consolidating too much? Well, no.
That's a valid critique that some people had. Dorn's was a little simpler. He was the guy who put the windows in the house and then somebody broke in and he can still see them running down the street. I swear I can catch him.
This shit ain't over. Let me go get him.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Gilliman's like, hey, how about we order new windows, please?
It's getting cold in
maybe
here.
Smaller ones?
Can you feel that? It's a draft.
But that's kind of Dorn's perspective. It is taken a bit like a personal affront, honestly, when A, no, we're not going after them, we're rebuilding, and B, you don't get to have a legion anymore.
Yeah.
It sucks. Because it feels like, first of all, from Dorn's perspective, you weren't even here. You weren't even here for this. I was here. I served. What are you doing? Which is
I was right there next to him.
A valid critique. One that would be made a lot worse if you knew what Gilliman was doing.
Yeah.
If you knew what pet projects he was working on.
Yeah.
We would have had an actual...
Was Gilliman working on the Primaris this early?
No.
Oh.
No. Do you not remember?
Oh, the Secundus. Yeah.
Yeah. During the heresy, a lot of warp nonsense was happening. People lost sight of the Emperor for a little bit, and the assumption was he's died. We need a second one. Not a great look while he's still alive, by the way.
Yeah, but nobody knew.
It's still not a great look.
These three guys.
Dorn's argument would be, I would have still come to Earth.
Yeah.
Which is a valid argument, you know? I can't...
Yeah, why did you call it early instead of validating?
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah, fair.
Thankfully, he doesn't know about this, which saves us. We still get really, really like Imperial ships firing on Imperial ships close to a civil war about this.
Yeah.
Because several of them do not like being split up from their sons and feel like, are you saying that I am incompetent? Are you saying I could wind up like Horus? Yeah. Are you saying the problem was I had too many forces and you didn't have enough? What are we doing here?
I mean, to be fair, kind of like a realistic problem.
These are real questions.
Well, no, I'm just saying we have like a direct thing that we can point to. Of like in the 50s, after like World War II, there was one scientist who did a study about like, well, how did the Nazis like exist? Mm-hmm. Like, how did they not see what they were doing? Mm-hmm. And if I remember correctly, like the justification was anybody can become a Nazi. It's just like you have to be very conscious of like what are you being told and what are you thinking, or you can very easily get like
sucked up in the whole nine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the thing. What do you mean I could become a traitor? No, I'd never become a traitor. And it's like, yeah, you kind of could. It's very easy to do that.
And the argument was more the legions are such forces unto themselves that if anyone decided I don't like the way the Imperium's being run, that'd be a big problem.
Yeah, it would be.
That'd be a big problem.
Like being split up into chapters. Yeah, chapter declares I'm going to create a new Imperium. The rest of them go, what?
Yeah, good luck with
that. Good luck with your numbers.
Gilliman knows from personal experience legions can start mini Imperiums. Ask him how he knows.
He did it.
Yeah,
he knows from experience.
He'll never answer the question, but he knows.
He knows.
You know.
And I know he knows.
This crisis would be averted because none of the loyalists wanted it to come to blows. No. Brothers, they were straight up picking sides. Like full bore.
I can imagine.
The forces were lining up.
We were doing close. A little mini heresy.
Yeah, we were getting really, really, really close. But thankfully, the crisis was averted, and out of them, the first couple chapters to be formed were the Crimson Fists, who we've done an episode on.
Here come the Crimson Fists.
And the Black Templars. These are the first two.
Okay.
Very different approaches.
Yeah.
Because the Crimson Fists
I remember the Crimson Fists. They had like kind of a heroic kind of like...
They kind of come from the Imperial Fists. You look at them, you're like, yeah. Literally a chip off the old block. Like you took a chunk off a break and you made the Crimson Fists.
Yeah.
The Black Templars...
I thought it was a hard tack.
Probably
a chunk off the old hard tack.
Yeah. The Black Templars are the most zealous of them. They were... Even their leader, their very first leader, was Sigismund, who we've also done an episode on in Patreon.
I do remember Sigismund.
Is a law. He's the single greatest duelist.
The silent swordsman who would simply point at you and you knew, oh God.
He discovered the brilliant military tactic of God's on my side is yours.
Yeah.
And figuring it out on the battlefield one-on-one. It's effective.
Yeah.
It works. He's still alive, and he has an incredible KD when it comes to one-on-ones.
I didn't use silent but deadly for the title of that video.
Well, you can use it here.
Yeah.
And so these people became a chapter, and everyone was already like, huh, you certainly chose. I get why you grouped them together.
Yeah.
But, you know what I mean? Wouldn't you want to scatter them out just a little bit?
Yeah. This feels like
maybe hope they mellow out
a little bit too much of concentrated idealism, and who knows where that will lead you.
Yeah. It's all but confirmed. And their first move is to declare an unending crusade because they're certain the traitors will come back and the heresy will get a sequel, which everyone's like, great,
cool.
We put the conspiracy theorists in charge of a fleet. We get this.
Well, it's like you didn't just put the conspiracy theorists in charge of a fleet. You grabbed every single conspiracy theorist across the United States, concentrated them in one spot, and they started plotting.
Yeah, well, you actually gave them a carrier. It's worse. They got one of Dorn's best ships. Like, yeah. For them though, unfortunate. Well, for everyone saying they were conspiracy theorists, they would be proven right, unfortunately. Because, lo and behold, the traitors do come back. We still got 10,000 years worth of setting to go off of here.
Sure.
You know? So this is like the equivalent of you taking all the conspiracy theorists in America, putting them all on a carrier, and they just beeline it right to Little St. James. And it's like, what are you? Oh, my God.
Wow, you actually...
Wow, you actually kind of...
You kind of cooked.
Whoa.
Shit, I guess we should let these conspiracy theorists go.
Yeah. And so they're proven completely right. And mass, in response to one of the first... They haven't called this in the time, but later on we'll know. It's one of the first of many Black Crusades. And so they match this right then and there. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. They were, like, I'm not joking. They were totally right.
Huh.
Their first move was being objectively correct.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, right? Right? That's what I said. It's like, I didn't think you'd do that with a carrier, but okay.
Cool. Sure.
I suppose.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess we should concentrate all our conspiracy theorists.
I suppose. Unfortunately for the Black Templars, they would help stop this.
Mm-hmm.
But this was being led by one Abaddon the Despoiler. And this
Abaddon
is...
D-spoiler.
Yeah, Abaddon D-spoiler. And this is one of his first showings. And as is customary, whenever we have a villain, he's got to do something.
Yeah.
And can he win with a Black Crusade? Spoiler, he can't, because there's several. There's 13 of these things. Mm-hmm. You know, the first one's not going to be a win.
13 Crusades, why? Yeah.
Right. But what he will manage is besting Sigismund in a one-on-one fight, which he did win. I'm not going to lie, he did win.
Didn't he chop Sigismund's hand off?
Yeah, but Sigismund did also run him through with a sword and left him a wound that he remembers to this day.
There's this big speech that he says later when he talks about Sigismund.
Yeah. No, Sigismund actually haunts him a little bit, you know, which speaks volumes.
I thought it was more of a respect thing.
Exactly. It is. It's haunt isn't accurate, but like it is more of a wow. What an opponent.
He occupies a lot of his brain.
Yeah.
That's his man crush.
And Abaddon has killed a lot of things, including a clone of Horus.
Yeah.
And he's thought about Sigismund more, I think.
Yeah.
Which says volumes. You know, he was an incredible duelist. He was committed to the bit, so to speak.
Abaddon is in the corner squealing every time he hears about Sigismund.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
He's like a yandere.
It's more like anytime somebody talks about him, it's like, yes, you can curse their names. Yes, you can say like they should deserve death, but you cannot ever say he was a bad duelist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, say what you will. Say what you will. You cannot ever say he's a bad duelist.
It's not like I like you, Baka Sigismund.
Sure. Sure. Either way, we get shown Abaddon is a serious threat. We get shown the Black Templars are kind of correct. Mm-hmm. And that kind of sets the stage for them to not really be questioned for this eternal vigilance they keep up to this day.
Yeah.
Because, spoiler alert, the next 10,000 years, they keep this crusade going and spawn numerous sub-crusades.
Sub-crusades?
Yeah,
okay,
sub-crusades.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I'm not going to lie, this is something that's not really touched on enough in my opinion. Logistically speaking, it's really impressive that they've managed this.
I mean, yeah.
Like for 10,
I don't even think the real Crusades were able to field like a sub-crusade.
Yeah, no.
Now, to be fair, it was just a bunch of peasants that gathered together and held together with like lanzknechts.
Well, if we're talking the Crusades, these guys are the knights in said crusade, so they're not peasants. You know,
there were very few knights in the Crusades.
Well, there's a lot of knights in this one.
Yeah.
And so
it's all knights. We'd skipped the peasants.
Yeah. No, there are peasants.
Oh.
Because fun fact about the Black Templars, most people have like scout regiments, and it's like, you know, how you can kind of show people the ropes. You know, you get to see the enemy, interact with them, but you know, it's not lethal, right? None of that. You are put in basically as a squire, and you will either make it and we'll go, hey, you deserve to be one of us, or you won't, and we'll go, God didn't will it.
Or you die by dysentery or crocodile.
Honestly, not impossible with where they fight.
Yeah.
Like, really.
No, I was just referencing the real ass Crusades.
And I'm telling you how they probably do die.
Yeah. Okay, so they are actually doing a crusade.
Yeah. And so, like, it's really impressive that they've not only managed to keep this going for 10,000 years, but that entire stretch of crusade, they're spawning other crusades that are not like hand-wavy ones. No. They're actually legitimately helpful.
Yeah. And I mean, this is the scale of 40K. Yeah, it's something big is going to happen, even with a sub-crusade.
Yeah. They've kept it going for the entire time. And these sub-crusades go to some of the most arduous and brutal reaches of the Imperium, all while managing to keep recruitment high enough that their numbers are suspicious, and I've never seen a Black Templar look for a weapon. And they're entirely fleet-based. They don't have a homeworld. That's so impressive when you think about it.
Where are they getting these people?
Well, they do actually have like a system in place.
Okay.
But it is a genuinely impressive system.
Yeah, that they're able to keep these logistics.
Yeah. Like, look. Are they crusading knights? Yes. There's a Deloitte employee hidden in there. There has to be. I know it. One of them, if you chip that paint, it's blue.
Yeah.
I know it. Because there's no way. There's either that or some of them have read books on manufacturing and supply lines and geek out all day about lean. Like
maybe there's a Raytheon employee in there too.
Yeah. I'm sure there's one person out there as they're doing their whole purge the heretic, burn the witch. Have you heard about Six Sigma? Dude, it's game changing. It's like how we keep this going.
That's so deep.
Lean manufacturing?
Oh my
Lean
gosh.
manufacturing? We get these ships out when we need them, bro. Exactly when we need them. Not a day early.
You've cut too deep. I don't even get this. This is too deep of a cut.
It's so cool to me. And that's obviously never touched on. But you got to give them their flowers. Because
No, that's like a logistical, good job.
Now, especially when you consider that they don't fight. You will see this as you put the art for this.
Yes.
You'll struggle to find pictures of them using firearms.
You
will see swords. You will see shields.
You said that the last time in the Helbrecht video, and I actually found a lot of
really
firearms. Yeah.
I mean, they do. I'm not saying they don't.
I will say in the big arts of their leaders, like the Sigismund art, the Helbrecht art, it was swords.
Yeah, it's swords.
But General Black Templars, I did still see a lot of guns in there, you know.
Yeah, but you will. Moral of the story is they don't. These are not. These are tactics that tend to lead to pretty high rates of atrophy. You know? Whether
everybody else is using guns, why are you pulling out with a sword?
Yeah, and even if they are using guns, I promise you in that art, you're going to see them surrounded. You know? So, when you consider the way they fight, how in their, swimwear they are, they definitely should not have too many numbers.
No.
And yet they still manage. It's really cool.
Is it upkeep, or is it just...
You got to remember, these are Dorn's kids. They are they are the structural engineers of the Space Marines, and I've not seen them build anything, so I can only assume they've built this system to keep these crusades going uninterrupted.
I mean, Dorn's already second to Gilliman when it comes to logistics.
Yeah.
Perturabo. No, not even Perturabo, because Perturabo is just maximalism.
Nobody ever said Perturabo was inefficient. They're up there, okay? They're the top. He easily floats in the top 3, right? If not that, for sure the top 5.
Yeah,
he's in the top percentile when it comes to this.
I don't know. This Perturabo debate will have to continue later.
Well, if you ask Imperial Fists, Dorn's better, obviously.
Of course.
Yeah. And so, you see what they fight all the time, and you're amazed that their numbers are as high as they are, because they're going against a Tau who. If you see them, it's too late.
That's the example I was going to use. It's listen, parry. How are you going to parry an energy rival? How are you going to parry a railgun?
And yet they manage. They regularly go up against orcs who live and breathe blunt force trauma. That is their breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and they still manage to accomplish incredible results at the end of the day.
With mostly melee.
Mostly melee. A good chunk of melee. Again, they're not just running in there sword only.
Yeah.
But if given the opportunity,
they have the gun. It's in their offhand.
Yeah. If given the opportunity, I will take it. And no other, with few exceptions, most other chapters would struggle to keep this kind of a train going for as long as they've managed.
I mean, maybe the Ultramarines. But that's just because they have sheer numbers and logistics is their game.
Yeah, but that's it. Those are the only ones that I can think of. Well,
which to be fair, you put those two together, blue and yellow is already
Dark Angels could manage. They could manage it too. I think they could manage it too.
I mean, I guess he is the alternate War Master.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like,
So it's kind of the thing. But either way, it's quite impressive that they managed it as a chapter.
Yeah.
Not as
not
one
as
of
a
these,
legion. It's
not
just
as
a chapter.
They're not legions. They just look like a legion and act like a legion and are always there for each other and cooperate in suspicious ways.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they've managed this pretty well, and that's really cool to me. This is an issue the Administratum has tried to solve from time to time, because while they're not certain there's too many Black Templars,
But they can't say that there's the right amount.
a chapter is supposed to be about 1,000 Space Marines.
Mm-hmm.
There's about 12 Crusades going, and I don't think there's less than 100 Space Marines I've seen at each Crusade.
Yeah.
You know? So they can't prove it, but they have tried to crack this case, and it's quite challenging to do so.
Yeah.
Because
Those are some sketchy numbers.
Yeah,
What are you doing?
yeah, the numbers aren't
Something's not lining up.
something's not lining up.
A
And so
decimal is not being carried properly.
every attempt they've had has been met with failure due to different things. Sometimes it's been an Inquisitor doing some digging, dying mysteriously. That just happens quite a bit.
Natural causes.
Natural causes. Another one is just the genuine logistical hassle. That is, so we have to count the people on Armageddon
Good luck.
as the wars for Armageddon are happening.
Yeah.
That's not really possible, you know. Or we have
Good
to
luck
go to the
doing that with the orc snipers.
exact. Well, no, they don't even deal with orc snipers. It's just a legitimately difficult thing to do.
I know. I was just making a reference to another one of our videos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
Is
then
that
on
one
top,
on patreon.com/Isyander and Koda?
Jesus, maybe. No, I don't think so. No, that was a YouTube one. So
Which one was that?
actively counting these.
That was the Crimson
Fist.
Fists.
I think it was Celestial Lines.
No, it was the Celestial Lines.
Yes.
I was thinking of an acronym that started with a C and then had a different.
Yeah. So counting getting an accurate head count on an active battlefield is difficult.
No.
Doing so,
it's not happening.
Yeah, doing so across several active battlefields is harder. Doing so while it's a fleet-based chapter in the deepest, darkest reaches of space, it's
not happening.
It is not happening.
No, I was going to say, even keeping track of forces like in our modern era.
Yeah, it's a bit of a challenge.
pain.
It's a bit of a challenge.
And this is the same era where like the planes have data links so strong that like an F-35 can launch a missile from like 50 miles out that's being guided by not its radar, but the other radar in the sky.
We have networked jets?
Yes, we do.
Huh. I didn't know that.
Data link. Yeah, it's public knowledge.
Huh.
I'm not revealing government secrets. That's public knowledge. It comes up in my favorite plane sim, DCS, and if it was really, really secret, then DCS wouldn't show it to me.
Well, I mean, it could be like the War Thunder syndrome. Where you just start leaking stuff for, well, there's a discernible reason. It's not a good reason.
Yeah, it's not a good reason.
Yeah. But we don't know how many there are. We just know there's probably too many.
Yeah.
And
there's a sketchy amount.
they know there's probably too many of them because they've been willing to step up to the Dark Angels, who claim to be a decentralized fighting force. But if you watched our last episode, if you mention Cypher, there's a shocking amount of cross-chapter coordination. There is a sketchy amount of cross-chapter coordination. And when you audit their books, you see planets changing hands way too often.
Yeah, maybe the phrase "lale lule lo" a couple times.
Honestly, a couple of
Lale lule
times.
lo.
Yeah, you can do that because you're sick. Like, that actually came out pretty decent. But
God.
they are not a chapter to be taken lightly. And the Black Templars, while they joke they haven't read the Codex Astartes, they can't read.
They're literate.
Yeah, and so
They're just choosing
they
to
can
ignore it.
assess a threat.
Yeah.
And they are certain that no, you don't get to have this prisoner. You're not explaining why. It's ours. To which, obviously, the reason they want him is because they think it's Cypher.
Yeah.
And they will never, ever, ever explain who Cypher is. So a fight almost broke out.
Yeah, because it's two kids just pulling on the same teddy bear that they want.
Well, it's more like one kid running up to another one and going, "I need that." And then I'm going, freaking why? I need it. Give. And then
To be fair, a real ass scenario that just happens.
like one kid came up, said, I need that. You looked at the teddy bear, you looked up, there's now 3 kids. And you're like, why do you need this so bad?
Why do you need this as bad?
And then you look again and there's 10 now. You know? Like, the Dark Angels are sketchy. The Dark Angels are sketchy, and yet they're willing to step up to that.
Yeah.
They, beyond the sheer scale of them and the fact that you see them very frequently in several battlefields, we do kind of know the guiding principles they use to stay together. Like, we may not know exactly how many crusades there are and how accurate, you know, the head count there is and who all is present, but we do know kind of the stuff that glues them together and keeps these things going. Firstly, there's some of the few Space Marines who think Big E is in fact a god.
Yeah, because some of them just think, oh, like he was a really big guy with big psychic powers.
Well, yeah. Well,
Gilliman included.
It's such a big problem that they've had to almost do a carve-out where, like, of course Space Marines don't think he's a god because they're closer to him than we are. So, you know, like, it's just, to them, that he's not a god. But to us, look at the difference.
Yeah.
I can't cast Fireball. Can you? Oh, you can? Hang him.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. So
this is more akin to like you have like a big general and people worked with him at some point and he did something great with those people.
Yes.
Now everybody else who wasn't in his circle go, oh my God, he's like a 6-star general. Hire this man immediately.
Yeah.
And the people in his general vicinity are like, no, he's just...
he was good.
He's good.
He's just not a god.
He's not a god. He's just a guy. He's
look
just
at
a
Korn.
guy.
That's a thing.
Yeah,
that's a
guy.
problem.
Yeah.
You know, different scales. But they worship him as a god, which is a bit scary when you consider that Space Marines tend to be single-minded, very focused on their task, and being devout in faith like that.
Now you introduced zealotry to this
leads
equation.
to it's why they swear to purge anything they can, and if they can't, they swear vengeance on it.
Yeah.
That is the most consistent thing you will see. They swear to purge it. Oh, you beat me, I swear vengeance on you. And that's just, you can see the Dorn in them. You can see it.
Why did you resist being killed? I'm going to now swear vengeance against you for resisting being killed.
They pride themselves on never, ever, ever hesitating. Mercy and forgiveness they're not even foreign concepts to them. They're actively against what they stand for. Yeah. They do not show mercy.
Okay, sure.
They do not forgive. That is not their job.
Yeah.
By the time I'm here, your chance for forgiveness left.
I'm the executioner.
Ages
I'm not the
ago.
judge.
Yeah. They get along really well with Sisters of Battle for obvious reasons.
Devout.
You know? Because Sisters of Battle, like, oh, you get it.
Yeah,
and they're like, oh, you get it too. You know, like, there's a little bit of...
To be fair, they kind of got a color scheme like lineup going on.
I mean,
too.
they do. And they do tend to fight together very frequently. Partially because they agree in that way. Partially because Black Templar crusades, while they do tend to kind of generally help out, if a holy world calls for help and a crusade is nearby,
they'll beeline it.
They will make their way there.
Yeah.
You know? Maybe not drop everything for it.
Okay, so they won't beeline, they'll just C-line.
Yeah.
Okay.
They will still get there to help out, which does lead to a lot of kind of teamwork between the two of them, which leads to some very, very fun pieces of art and some very, very fun stories.
Yeah.
This does also mean that they are possibly the worst Space Marines you could meet as a non-human.
Yeah.
They are...
Because they'll just kill you.
Yeah, they won't even pretend to hear you out.
Yeah.
They will not even pretend. Of all the loyalists
They will
to bump
see you
into,
are not human and they will just, like, shoot you.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You're dead now.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
This means that when they go against certain threats that negotiating was never really an option, you can kind of see where they shine, you know? Because, like, do you need to negotiate with orcs?
No. Do you need to negotiate with Tyranids?
Cornate hordes?
No.
Who knows? But unfortunately for them, the 41st millennium is full of literate forces.
Yeah. So the
Or in
Tau
fact-
and the Eldar.
Yeah, they are capable of reading and waving a white flag. And hey, we'll stop. I'm sorry. You know, those are words that can leave opponents' mouths. Do they? Yeah, but they can. Yeah. Now, you may be fair in thinking that this is kind of in the same vein as the stuff that most Marines do anyway. Because, like, I'm going to be honest, if you're an Eldar bumping into an Ultramarine, it's not that much better, you know?
Don't the Salamanders have something against the Eldar too?
Broadly speaking, if you're not a human and you bump into a Space Marine, your
good.
day's not going to be great.
Yeah. Like if you're a guardsman and you run into Tau, like... they're gonna like give you a little bit of some slack, some leeway, but like
Space Marines.
if you're towering into a Space Marine,
I mean, the Tau have tried to convert a Space Marine and they've put the
didn't
Tau.
he shut his own heart off with them psychically linked to his brain?
To kill them.
To kill them?
Yeah. The Tau have a list of people we don't ever negotiate with. Orcs are on there. Space Marines are on there.
Yeah.
So,
well, to be fair, it's like trying to negotiate with a gun.
yeah, no. No, that's just not happening.
Yeah.
So it does kind of feel a little bit like what the Marines broadly do. You never want to meet a Space Marine in a dark alley if you're not a human. It just does not work out for you.
Unless you want to see your ribcage turn inside out.
And even if you are a human, if you read the wrong book or you have some wacky ideas like, hey,
Let's see prior statement.
maybe we shouldn't be in eternal unending suffering, and maybe, just maybe, some of these problems are because...
You know, I believe I should probably have some rights, I think.
Yep, no, done. Finished. You know, it's not great. But the Black Templars take this a bridge further because they're a bit clinically insane about how they do things.
Okay.
As you've seen already, they don't have forward scouts.
No.
They're just in combat
They
with
just
them.
charge
and
in.
you will either make it or you won't.
To be fair, I mean, valid strategy.
Yeah.
Instead of scouting, just rush in and you find the enemies by wherever you see the shots coming from.
Exactly.
You just have to be heavy armored enough to not die from those.
Yeah. And so Space Marines, I think the most succinct way I could explain it, you actually did a very good job there. Space Marines are like negotiating with a gun pointed at you. Nothing's changing what that nine's doing.
No.
The person behind it might.
Maybe.
Right?
Yeah, but
but broadly speaking, changing what that...
talking to the gun's not going to get you anywhere.
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
hunk
yeah.
of metal that can kill you.
Yeah. That is very much so what it feels like at times, right? These guys, if I had to kind of describe the difference, it's if you opened up a dictionary and just looked up the word bigoted, a Black Templar is right there waiting for you. Like it's right there.
I mean, to be fair, we were just talking about them like, oh, I see a Tau.
Yeah. Like,
no, I don't. I see a new head for my mantle.
Yeah. They like I'm talking like actual dictionary definition.
Yeah.
They do not fight near psychers.
No.
Period. Like they cannot.
They can cast fireball.
They
They
cannot
must be of
suffer
chaos.
to be near the witch, unless that witch is a Grey Knight, because they're cool, or a navigator, because navigators get a pass too. Because like what is navigating?
They're one of the good ones.
No, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Like what is navigating but looking for the Lord's light? That's kind of the argument they make, and even then, it's not great how they treat their navigators.
Yeah. I'd imagine it's more of a tool than a person.
Yeah, they used to have a rule on the tabletop. Yeah, it was called abhor and destroy the witch. You could not field psychers with them unless they were Grey Knights.
Of course.
Yeah, of course, because
Grey Knights are cool.
Grey Knights are cool.
Oh my God! Look at him! I can see my reflection in his armor.
Yeah, pretty much. It's kind of the elephant in the room with them. Look, nobody in 40K is a good guy.
No.
We know this. We all know this. Even the Tau, they're not the good guys. The Eldar, they're not the good guys.
Yeah.
All of them suck in different capacities, right? Now you could sit here and have a philosophical debate about how evil is a bioorganism just trying to eat everything. There's like scales to it, but at the end of the day, it's all bad.
Yeah.
They're all like, if you take anything from 40K.
The closest to argument I've heard for something being like not evil is the orcs, and that's just because they have no conceptual, like the only thing they know is smash.
And that's what I mean. You can have a debate about some of this stuff, but broadly speaking,
Most things are like
we're
bad.
all the baddies. That's kind of the fun of this setting.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you lifted anything from 40K and put it into most other settings, everything else is looking sideways in horror.
Yeah.
But
it's fun to play the villain sometimes, and that's the fun of 40K. Yeah.
That's the thing. Good villains are compelling and fun. And so that's kind of their main sin. That's like their main thing. Everyone has a thing. Like, the salamanders, super duper nice. Everyone loves them. They use napalm.
Yeah.
They use napalm and white phosphorus.
Yeah.
That's not great.
That's not great. No.
0 stars. Are they most likely to stop and help a kid find their cat? Yes.
Unless they see that it's an Eldar.
In which case, not great things are going to happen.
Yeah. An Eldar child hates to see a salamander coming.
They hate to see a salamander coming. It's a tragedy, but it is what it is, The Black Templars' whole thing is their fanaticism. It drives them to incredibly dark places. And the only way I can really describe them, other than, recounting some of the stuff they've done, which they have done some nuts stuff, you know, is the simple fact that the only fan art you can find of Uncle Ruckus in 40K puts him in one of 3 chapters. And I'm going to let you guess which one of those 3 he's in. The other 2 are equally fitting. I'm not going to sit here and lie. Like, the other ones are the Marines Malevolent, who we've not talked about them. A whole different ball game. Quick little brief on them.
Just
Collateral damage.
Just based off of name, I can imagine they have one thing going for them.
Yeah. They're not great. You don't want to see them.
No.
And then the Black Templars, who
Yeah.
Uncle Ruckus would be in there. And then there's the one which I personally think he'd be the most fitting into, which is the White Templars. Because, yes, he would make the distinction. Or he could be in the Black Templars as a former White Templar. Both are acceptable. But moral of this story, these guys are mired in their hatred. It's literally what they meditate on before battle. They pray and contemplate in hopes of being united even further in their hatred and contempt. So when you said meditating in the BDSM club, this is what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there are a lot of things you do not want to bump into. The only saving grace for bumping into the Black Templars is they don't necessarily want to make you... You will probably die fast.
I'd imagine if you attract their ire, like instead, if they're on the purge stage against you, you'll probably go quick.
Well,
if they're on the vengeance stage,
well,
is how I'd imagine.
I
those
was
things
gonna
go.
say they wouldn't torture you, which is true. They won't like do the full, like a whole 9 shebang. This is ultimately a fridge with a sword running at you. Odds are you're gonna die to physics.
Yeah.
You know, like that's what's happening here.
Like, you know that video of Mythbusters testing the car going to a wall? You're the car.
Yeah. But they have chosen to deal with cultists in rather creative ways.
I don't like that statement.
Yeah. Instead of
I don't like that sentence.
What one would assume, they've gone district by district, lighting them all on fire at night with pyres until they leave cinders that are visible from space as a warning against any who would oppose the master of mankind.
Cool.
That's a thing they've done.
That feels cornate.
They're doing it for Big E. That's the loophole. They will do some sketchy things, but it's for Big E.
And so, like, all of that energy just redirects.
You know, it just goes in an entirely different direction.
Yep.
You know?
Sure, okay.
And their zealotry can go really far. Like I said, odds are they probably won't go heretic, right? But they have crusaded against the Imperium briefly. Yeah. Yeah.
I'd imagine they had some form of reason for why that wasn't heresy.
It's really funny because Gilliman showed up and said, "Hey, I have Primaris Marines," and then immediately reached for a service weapon. You know, like, because he knew how this conversation was going to go, and I think that's a fair assertion. You know, like that's basically what happened. And then the Black Templars were like, "Yeah, okay, we're cool with that." And
then he slowly went back to normal.
Are you sure?
Are you sure?
Okay. And so he starts sending them Primaris Marines, and they're all making it. And they're slowly being added in. Now, because of the nature of the Black Templars, you're not sending them to one place. You're sending them to like 10 different places.
Yeah.
Right?
Because there's, at any given point, 10 Crusaders at the very least.
And so, broadly speaking, they did accept the Primaris Marines because the main guy in charge was... Yeah.
Because pro Primaris.
Look. I think Big E is the GOAT. There is no real debate. He was the best there ever was.
But you're like his kid.
Be, you know? If you are upgrading his projects, I can't really disagree with that. You know? You are the closest I'm getting to him. And you have directly spoken to him.
I've never met him. You've met him.
And so, like... What everyone thought was going to go terribly actually went pretty great. And they're slowly being added into the Primaris Marines and even crossing Rubicon Primaris at a surprisingly high rate. Like, everyone else has a low survival rate. The Black Templars are shockingly high. So much so that people are like, how are they, what's going on?
Pure conviction.
Honestly, yes.
Yeah.
100%. But there was one crusade who did say, yeah, we're cool. We're here for the Primaris Marines. Bring them forth. And a fleet arrives. And this is how they all arrive, with a custodian present and new Primaris Marines made from whatever Dorn stock they had lying around, ready to kind of fill into their ranks, the whole nine. And then the second they lay eyes on them, a good chunk of them break into mutiny and slaughter everything in a righteous fury. Like, the second they see those Marines, they go, clearly, my God would not have allowed for this.
Yeah.
This cannot stand.
So it was literally like a binary reaction to seeing Primaris from some of them. Either they went, oh, cool, yeah.
Oh, this was one crusade that had this violent of a reaction.
Okay.
And their reaction was very violent because they killed their marshal. They killed anyone who disagreed with them on that day, no matter the side. All the Primaris Marines died.
Yeah.
As well as the custodians sent to
Oh, no.
Yes. Yeah. They actually properly killed one of the Emperor's bodyguards.
Well, that's not
one
good.
of the 10,000.
That's not
one
good.
of the few people to probably have spoken to him.
Well, now it's the 9,999.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not calling it custodians do die. So the 10,000, I'm sure it's a floating fake.
The 10,000?
Yeah, the 10,000. You know, so and in a different
10,000 plus minus 10%.
Yeah, plus or minus, the 10,000 give or take. You know,
10,000 ish.
And so after this massive heresy, their numbers were decimated, as you can imagine.
Dictionary definition decimation.
Turning on each,
not really.
Turning on each other, turning on the new guys, turning on a custodian.
Oh yeah, dictionary definition.
Yeah, like
decimation.
a lot of people died on that day.
Yeah.
And this is something that in a previous era may have like squeaked under the radar, because look, communication sucks already. These guys are off in God knows where, and there is a central command of the Imperium. Yes, it is also deeply steeped in personal vendettas and personal kind of pet projects, and like there's no like singular unifying guiding vision. It's like 10 people bickering that mine is best, and then a bunch of,
so it's a Corvette mate.
I was gonna get to the Corvette meat portion of it. I was gonna say octogenarian's a bit too young, but you know.
I was just gonna say no. My interpretation is best interpretation.
There's
my interpretation is best interpretation.
There's a lot of noise throughout the entire Imperium, and a lot gets kind of washed away in it.
Yeah.
And in the previous time, that may have happened. They did still kill a custodian, so probably not. But it may have kind of squeaked by. But Guilliman is alive and well, and has an Excel sheet with a cell that just turned red.
Yeah.
And so he goes,
well, now I got to check on that.
I've sent out a lot of fleets, and the report I got back of, oh, we never saw them.
Doesn't make any sense.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
And when I asked, hey, where's the guy in charge I was talking to earlier? They said, oh, he died defending us. From what? Villains? Heretics? Bye.
Scum. Villainy.
Yeah.
Sorry, the line's breaking.
Yep. And so he sends out a fleet to investigate, and he gets to the bottom of this pretty much quickly.
Very quickly.
And this crusade does eventually die off of natural causes.
Natural causes.
Natural
Not
causes.
Guilliman's ire sending them to like the worst assignment possible.
Like I said, they are still broadly doing a lot. Like, I don't think you'll ever find a single story of the Black Templars going, we're defeated, retreat. That's just not, those are not words they're capable of uttering.
Black Templars do not die of natural causes.
No. They die in service every time,
Yeah.
like they should.
Yeah.
You know?
They desire Valhalla.
Almost, I'd say.
Yeah.
For sure. I think like it is the greatest honor they can receive, frankly. And you can see it because they fought Ghazghkull several times. They've been present at Armageddon several times. They fought alongside Grey Knights several times. They have a great batting average against almost every traitor legion. It's pretty good. They've beaten something called the Caco Dominus, which is a disturbingly powerful alien cyborg psyker thing that
I was going to say
dominated.
that sounds like one of the demons from Doom.
Yeah, that dominated an entire system over 1,000 planets until the Black Templars went, see, my rules say abhor the witch. And I know one when I see one.
Yeah.
And the rest is history. When they killed it, its death scream was so loud and echoed through the Imperium so loudly that billions of astropaths burned out. Billions. Yes. So many ships were never going to be seen again. And the Black Templars' response is,
oops.
This is why we abhor the witch.
You shouldn't let the witch take over like this.
Man like me, we have spares.
Yeah. Should have taken him over. Should have killed him before he had 1,000 systems.
And full sections of space just descended into anarchy.
Oh, yeah. Because I see dimension.
All their astropaths just died.
Yeah.
And they keep its skull as a trophy as they go into battle against Tyranids.
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
That has to be dangerous.
That could be a problem at some point.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Maybe it could be an interesting plot point. Maybe it's just going to stay as a neat little thing on the mantle. They did also help remove Goj Vandire, if you believe it or not.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good on them.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's helpful.
It's shocking, but it's because some of their keeps were shot at. And they're like, well...
No, not really keen on that.
Yeah. That's not going to happen.
Yeah,
and
so
so
not kosher.
They ground away at the doors of the palace for months until eventually the situation was sorted.
Good on them.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's a good subject of a crusade.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I said, dude. They do so much.
Yeah.
They do so much.
Yeah, I know. Killing Doge vampire is probably a good idea.
And so the highs of the Black Templars are really high because it's a fun aesthetic. It's a great vibe. And like, they're broadly speaking very fun. I really do like them, but they do tend to suffer a little bit of a similar fate to Krieg, where like 99% of people who like them are perfectly normal and great, and like I'd gladly play a game against them, right? But the lows,
however,
the 0.5% that's low,
0.5% of people who like looked up the dictionary definition of bigot, saw a picture of the Dark Angels, and went, "Oh, he just like me for real."
It's real low, but the highs give us some of the most fun out there. Like, it's the only Space Marines.
Like Grim Knights.
Yeah, it's the only Space Marines will get fighting out of a collapsing church while holding on to relics.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah, that goes hard.
God, that goes hard. That goes hard. Needlessly hard.
Yeah.
You know? The vibe of like Knights Templar is very good. I think broadly speaking, of all the Space Marines, they are the ones who exhibit the warrior monk kind of ethos the best. Because they do both. Like, it's not a Black Templar story without prayer involved, you know?
This is like you grabbed a like monk from a medieval seminary and you handed him a sword and armor.
Yeah. And there's kind of there's a lot of debate around them when it comes to some of these things. Like, their numbers always fluctuate. There's a time period where they were really, really high, then they got really, really low, and now they've gotten kind of high again-ish. Sometimes it's writers, sometimes from what I've heard it's like corporate getting involved. Who knows?
I'd imagine too that futzing their numbers is kind of well within the scope of their
and ultimately
existence.
In 40K, at best you're getting one person's perspective.
Yeah.
At worst you're getting a story that's been told through telephone across 10 hives.
Yeah.
It's never going to be accurate. So I do like, broadly speaking, the idea that there's just too many. How many? A full legion? Probably not. But is it too many? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's a sketchy number.
Yeah. There's also some debate about like whether they hold Biggie as like a divine being, because their chaplain did tell Gilliman that, no, we don't really do that, you know? But also, there's Gilliman. You're not going to tell him you do that.
Yeah. When Gilliman tells you not to do that.
Yeah. No.
This is also the same chapter. I was going to call them a legion for a second.
This
is the same chapter who is like playing loopholes with the rules. They're not going to draw more attention to themselves than they should.
I don't think they're playing loopholes with the rules because they'd have to like read them and like them to even do that. They don't agree with them. This is Dorn's kind of most stubborn bits.
Yeah, but they also have to make sure that they're not going to be violently dispersed by Gilliman.
It honestly would be shooting themselves in the foot, because the Black Templars do a lot. There's a lot.
I mean, fair,
they
yeah.
do, so, broadly speaking, they know where they stand.
Do they do? Okay, never mind. I was gonna say they don't know what's going on in Gilliman's head, but
I know who I serve. I know what I stand.
To be fair, is what Gilliman did on not Monarchia, Lorgar's planet.
Monarchia.
Okay, I guess it is Monarchia. My memory is that good. Is what Gilliman did on Monarchia like public knowledge?
See, now here's the funny thing. A lot of the like, we have it bad, the people in canon have it worse insofar as knowing what's actually going on, because they're mired in the propaganda.
Yeah.
They are bathed in it constantly. So, sure, some retelling of it is possible, but the accurate retelling of it, probably not. The Black Templars are even less so, because like I said, they don't fight with Psychers, and Psychers in most other chapters are commonly referred to as librarians.
Because they keep... Yeah. Well,
the reason I said they haven't read the rules.
The thing that I was saying is if they know what Gilliman's wrath looks like, then they might go, if he's in power right now, I'm probably gonna like try and dodge around him.
Fun fact: there's a good chance they will begin losing their history because they have librarians. Broadly.
No librarians,
librarians are the ones who keep their history. Yeah. They're the ones who write this down.
Are the librarians like the giver situation where like at some point they like pass their knowledge psychically along to the next librarian?
It depends. Each one has different like takes on it. Because like, you know, like some are like straight up wizards, right? Some are like weird rune priests, you know.
So sometimes it's written down, sometimes it's the
it just depends. But broadly speaking, they are the ones who keep these traditions going and kind of hold on to them. So the Black Templars not having any is
when you're
a problem probably.
Problem probably, but also their core identity is built around go kill that thing. It doesn't look human. And so like, what more does a Black Templar need to know?
Not much.
Then like that thing doesn't look human. I'm gonna go kill it now.
My grandpa did. It's yeah.
My grandpa killed the Xeno. My pops killed the Xeno.
Yep.
I'm also gonna kill the Xeno, and that's the Black Templars to a T.
Not much else.
Yeah. So like, why do you need a librarian to tell the history? Like, you have one thing. So little did we know these guys aren't like battle monks. They're actually Cletus.
Well, there's certainly an argument to be said for that. I think the only thing they're missing from the Crusade vibe is a broad, like, overarching target.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
yeah, because they're kind of spread out. They don't have like a target to.
But if they had a target, everyone would immediately go, I can count.
Yeah.
I can count ships. I don't know how many people
with
are
them
on
doing sub crusades. Yeah, that probably obfuscates some of their numbers. But when they all appear in one place, like if they actually had a Jerusalem to go get.
Well, I mean, if Earth ever falls, we know who exactly is turning around to go try and get it back.
Yeah.
It's the Black Templars.
But also, if Earth falls, are you really going to break up the Black Templars at that time?
Exactly. No, get it back. We'll do this later.
Get it back. We'll deal with chopping you up later.
Yeah. That's if we even do, bro. Get it back. Go get it. But yeah, that is the Black Templars. What do you think of them?
Again, I think they're cool. I am now reinterpreting them in my head as Cletus. So
that's one way.
I'm actively rewriting my headcanon right now.
I'm thinking through all the chapters I know. We don't have any like redneck or hillbilly adjacent ones.
We need like a
which is interesting.
A swamp man kind of chapter.
Well, because like they cover a lot of different like fighting styles and historic. Because I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the chapters boil down to what if this type of hero was a space marine? You know, like this type of warrior throughout history.
But we don't have Pops with his shotgun on the stoop.
And I'm not gonna lie, it would be fascinating to see. I don't know who they descend from, to be honest.
The Gator Getter Space Marines.
Yeah, I don't know who they descend from. Because we even have like, well, I mean, I suppose I have to look through guard regiments. I don't know as much about the guard regiments. There may be like a more like
rednecky one.
Yeah, adjacent one. Yeah. Though
they descend on a flying golf cart.
I'm thinking through it. I don't even think that's covered. Because we got Rambo, don't get me wrong. And we have a couple of different things.
Yeah.
Like a couple of different armies represented, broadly speaking, in vibes. We have Krieg, Amalgam, World War I, right? But yeah, that's strange that we don't have that.
What was it that Iron something who was like on Armageddon and specialized in killing orcs.
Yeah, the Steel Legion.
Steel Legion, that's what I'm thinking of. And they have like they have a very kind of like Soviet like not infantrymen, but like a machine based kind of like aesthetic.
I don't know if they're fully Soviet.
The greatcoats look kind of Soviet to me.
They are.
I could be misreading it.
If I remember correctly, they are a little more similar to a different army. Same war, different army.
Who?
The Germans.
Oh.
If I remember correctly, like aesthetically speaking, that's kind of what they're a lot closer to.
Okay, so they're close to the Krieg. Okay, well.
Well, no,
like
because
desert Krieg.
Krieg just sounds German, but like broadly speaking, you look at it closely.
Yeah.
I've talked to World War I nerds about this. They're just like amalgam World War.
Yeah, they're amalgam
There's
World War I.
some Brits, some French, some German.
Yeah.
Right, but the Armageddon Steel Legion is very much so more inspired by like World War II Germany, kind of the Blitzkrieg kind of a vibe. They're combined machine forces of that time period. Is more the vibe that they have, broadly
just
speaking.
with maybe a little bit less of the...
Well, yeah. And so, like, we do have a lot of different, like, armies fielded and a lot of different things, but very weird that we don't have that. Strange.
Don't we have, like, I guess the Rambo style is kind of like the Vietnam era.
That's more Vietnam era, yeah. I also don't know if we have, like, an amalgam for modern forces either.
No, we don't.
But
also,
I would
I don't
argue
think
the
it
average
fits
guardsman kind of just looks like the way modern forces do to some extent.
Or at least,
so
I've always thought that the guardsmen kind of look like the grunts, or not the grunts, but like the random Marines from Halo. And so the Marines from Halo are kind of like the visual identity behind them is, what if we took the Marines of today and gave them sci-fi tech?
Yeah.
And
they nail that.
Yeah, they nail that.
They nail that.
And so like the guardsmen kind of being that, they just kind of look like future space Marines, not space Marines, but like Marines in space.
Yeah. I think we even have like Desert Storm adjacent ones.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Desert Storm is old enough to be like media now.
I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, but I know they've covered almost every vibe. I'm sure I'm just not thinking of it in this moment. And someone is shouting right now, "It's these guys!" And I'm like, of course, how did I miss that? But it's just not coming to my mind right now. I do like the vibe that these guys bring.
They do. They have a cool vibe.
I think we squarely have every type of knight available covered. You know. Every single one.
Yeah. We have like Knights Templar, we have like sketchy knights, we have the Knights of the Round Table.
Yeah. We have the more like fancy Arthurian ones. We've got a good spread. I quite like them. They lead to a lot of fun art. They unfortunately do sometimes get relegated to their crusading. Doing what? Some. We'll check on them. We'll check in on them later. You know, which is one of the bummers about them. But also, there are so many chapters. I can understand why occasionally they're off fighting, moving on. You know, like what are the Ultramarines doing? Counting.
If an author wanted to pick like a chapter to write a story about, they have like, it's not slim pickings.
But I don't think they get to pick. I think they're told.
Oh.
I have no like real.
I'd imagine GW has like a big overarching lore master who's like, this is the direction the story is going.
Yeah, I'd wager, but like,
we're going to do the end times again.
Don't. But yeah, that does bring it into this episode.
So sorry, I didn't mean to manifest that for all of 40K.
I don't think they're going to do an end times again.
That would also put our jobs over.
No, because Lord knows the end times was not the end of fantasy.
No, fair enough.
A lot more came after.
Yeah.
You know?
It was a really misleading name.
Yeah.
Somebody sued GW for false advertising. No. That's a joke. That's a joke. Please don't come at us.
And on that note, thank you so much for tuning in.
On the totally not litigious note.
Thank you for being you.
Thank you for funding
thank
our
you for no
future
cease and
lawsuits.
desists. Jesus.